I'm Rob Kellogg, and today we're going to talk about crane operation awareness. Not so much as a rigger or even a crane operator, but those of us who are working around crane operations need to have a heads-up ideology and a disposition when we're in proximity to that operation. The reason is many failures from cranes don't injure the actual operator. They injure and kill the people around them because they're not aware or they're not paying attention. One of the things we need you to understand is even though you're not involved with that operation is you must take precautions to make sure that if something should go wrong, you're somewhat prepared for that activity. Okay? So mindset is you should always have no less than two means of egress when you leave that area in an emergency response. Crane's falling. What do? Primary, if that closes or is now become a hazard, you need a secondary in another direction to make sure it's safe for you in case of a catastrophic failure. And what I mean by catastrophic failure is I need to show you this video.
Problems started almost from the beginning when the monument swung into electrical wires, but difficulties mounted. Take a look at this exclusive video of what happened next.
That, my friends, is a catastrophic failure. Now, the details of why it failed are not important in this particular training session. What is important is I need you to understand that even though the crane failed, and we saw that was in that one area, what happened to the ground crew, i.e. you, or potentially you working next to those ground crew, what happened to them? Now, I'm going to show you the video again, and instead of focusing on the actual accident happening, I want you to look in the background where the workers were working and where they fled when the collapse began, and watch the scenario in the background.
Problems started almost from the beginning when the monument swung into electrical wires, but difficulties mounted. Take a look at this exclusive video.
Watch this area back here. When things fail in a crane operation, and you have something as catastrophic as this, things go bad, and they go bad really fast. You need to have a mental preparedness when you're working around these machines. No matter what, my disposition is if I'm working around a moving part machinery that has a mechanical action to it, I want to know first what mechanical potential that action is, what its reach is, and what the influence around the environment is if it should fail, and in different ways it should fail. Not so much as cranes, but I'm talking forklifts, front end loaders, track hose, everything. If it moves, it's a concern to me, and I need to completely watch what's going on. Again, I have a primary and I have a secondary evacuation potential already in my brain when I'm working around those particular environments. This is something you have to train yourself to do and become more aware every single time. Just because you're wearing that bright colored shirt doesn't mean they see you. So, as we saw in the background here, they ran into an area they thought was safe. What was the problem? Telephone lines. Those poles snapped and came out on top of the area in which those potential people were going to, which makes it very hazardous for them on many levels. Not just the falling telephone pole, but now we have down electrical lines to contend with. All these things must be taken into consideration before you do that. Now, I'll show you another short video, and this is of a catastrophic event. Again, you'll see somebody who had a primary escape, saw that it was not an option, and had a secondary. Gary is now aware of the situation. He's looked down on the ground, saw the displacement of the earth underneath the outriggers of the crane. The crane was starting to move forward into the moving earth. He knew that a catastrophic event was beginning to occur. Gary had a primary escape, and you're watching the rest of this video. He decided that that was not a good option, and he went with door number 2, which probably saved his life. Sorry about it. Somebody had a really bad day in the crane industry. Don't make it your bad day by being in proximity to it without complete awareness of what's going on. Keep your head up, observe everything that's going on around you, and react accordingly. As always, Ultimate Group is here to help you understand your environment before you get into it. If you have any questions or concerns about where you're working, please contact us, and we'll do the best of our ability to assist you. Remember, safety is not a mindset, state of mind.